episode or a session of Wesley Guild Essay. And today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic. We are talking about being a branch of hope. Maybe you might be wondering what exactly that means, but here to unpack it for us today is Sis Andrea Dondolo. And she will be telling us about basically being a better version of yourself. So this is set to be a very, very interesting topic. Before we get into the gist of things, I would like to ask Umfundisi to just lead us in prayer, and then we can get into it.
Come, let us pray, Masthandaze. Egameni loyise nelonyana nelomoya ongcwele, yisewe Nkosi yethu enguYesu Kristu, mdali wezulu nomhlaba. Wena Nkosi okhoyo, wena Nkosi ophilayo ngonaphakade. Nasemva kwemini somandla ngolusuku lwanamhlanje, sisondela phambi kwakho Nkosi, sibulela ukuthandwa nguwe, sibulelwa Nkosi ukugcinwa nguwe. Sivumelana Nkosi nalamhlabeleli othi Nkosi kubo bonke onkulunkulu akakho njengawe, ngoba Nkosi incaba zakho zihleli zingunaphakade. Namhlanje Nkosi sibulela zona, because if it was not for your grace and mercy, where would we be? But today, Lord, we are grateful. Our hearts, Lord, are grateful. Our minds, Lord, are open to you, Lord, that we can receive today what we are about to learn. And therefore, Lord, we invite your presence even in this session. Come, Lord, and join us, be with us. I pray, Lord, for those who will be leading us tonight. I pray, Lord, for every young person, young and old, who will be listening. Makube khona Nkosi umuntu into azayichola, athi Nkosi xa kuphela le show yanamhlanje, athi Nkosi impilo yami ayisafani nayizolo. Sikeleleke Nkosi, sithamsanqelise, usomeleze Nkosi, sikhulise ekuthandeni nasekwazini wena, ngoKristu Yesu Nkosi yethu. Amen.
So everyone watching today, as you know, this is not only an interesting session, but it is a very interactive session as well. So if you happen to have any questions, if you happen to have any comments, or you would just like to share your input experience with us, you're more than welcome to leave your comments or questions on the comment section, and we will read them out. So yes, let's enjoy today's session. I will hand over to Sis Andrea. All you have to do is just sit back, relax, and enjoy the session. Thank you. Over to you, Sis.
Molweni Betunani, kunjani, ndiphilile. Thank you very much for having me. It is such an honor to be here. And it's not every day that you get a platform, and in that platform, you are allowed to just be yourself, to be your natural self and your natural version. So as for me, I am truly, truly honored, and it is an amazing and an awesome pleasure to be here. So I've been asked to talk about being a branch of hope. What does it mean to be a branch of hope? You know, when I was given this topic, I actually laughed, because I found that it speaks so much to me. My isiXhosa name, Nomasebe, which means one with lots and lots of branches. And when I used to have dreadlocks, I used to tease people and say that those dreadlocks, they represented branches of how I think of who I am. So as I'm walking, I'm like a tree. So for each dreadlock, it represented a story about where I've been, where I am going, and all my thoughts, they intermingle and they move in that space and allow me to realize my full potential. When I hit on potential, there's 5 points that I want to talk about. Is you understanding your potential. What is your potential? And when you think about potential, what comes to mind? To me, it's possibility, future, probability, budding. You know, when you think about potential, it's like when someone has planted a seed. When they plant that seed, they know that they want it to grow and be something bigger than that small seed. As you will know, there is that talk about the mustard seed that has been planted and it becomes the biggest tree. The same way that there is talk about the oak tree, which is planted. You know, if you look at the seed of an oak tree, it is tiny, but not as tiny as a mustard seed. So it's important for you to know which branch do you come from. And by the fruits of that branch, then you will know if you are a branch of hope, or you are a branch of destituteness, or you are a branch of stillness. You know, so many people, when we encounter people, we take on their energies. And those energies are what will allow us to understand our purpose. And when then you understand your purpose, you don't only just understand your purpose, but you understand its power, which is my second point. So being that branch, you have to be that bridge that allows people to cross to the other side. But before you can even do that, before you can even realize, before you can even think about being a branch of hope for someone else, you have to begin with yourself. For as long as you do not know yourself well, for as long as you do not know your purpose and the power that you have, you will never be of use to anyone else. You know, there's cartoons that we used to watch. And currently on one of the channels, my son loves to watch those cartoons. And those cartoons, what they do, they discover their power and their purpose. They ensure that they go on a vision quest so that they can understand their purpose. Then within understanding that power, their purpose leads them to understand that you cannot play small. Because if you play small while you are so powerful, it means that there is someone that you are denying the opportunity to realize their destiny, their full destiny. So it is important for you to ensure that you embrace who you are. How do you embrace who you are? When you know your purpose, you then realize your power. Your power then allows you to stand tall. You know, you must be that person when you walk into a room, when you walk into a space, people say yes. They must say yes before you even speak. It's not about you speaking, but it's about the presence that says this person is powerful. Your aura, your energy, it must speak volumes before you even open your mouth. There will be spaces where you will go and you don't even talk, but people, they feel this immense energy, this radiation that is coming from you and unleashing their own potential, which leads me to my next point, rediscovering yourself. For as long as you don't know who you are, for as long as you don't know where you come from or where you want to go, it means that you do not have clarity of purpose. And only when you have clarity of purpose, when you have gone on that vision quest and rediscovered who you are, then you will be able to take on the baton of moving to the next beacon. Imagine taking a baton and running while you do not know who you are. You have to have clarity. You have to understand where you want to go. And it is important for you to know that while you're running that race, you do not keep on looking back. Who you were yesterday is the past, but who you are now and who you will be in the future, that is where the rediscovering lies. And that is where you must keep your eye. Because if you keep on looking backwards, you will forever be reminded of your mistakes. In the process of rediscovering who you are, it is important to forgive yourself. Acknowledge the mistakes that you might have made, but please do not regret the journey that you've been on. It was necessary. You needed to be in that place and in that time so that you can then be able to be elevated to the next mission of your purpose. And if you do not do that, you will forever be the one who makes people not to grow. You will hold people back. You know, a few days ago, I was talking to a friend and we're talking about my speaking engagements. And she said to me, Andrea, you are delaying me. Andrea, you are holding the key to unlock my doors. Why are you not opening that door? And I laughed. Because sometimes, as much as you know so much, you have empowered yourself in terms of self-development, in terms of rediscovering yourself, but there will always be that voice that makes you think that I do not deserve to be doing this. I cannot walk into a certain space and claim my own space. You do not claim the whole space, but you claim your own space. When doors are closed, it is important for you to know that it's either you create your own doors or you kick the ones that exist or use the window to get in. So when this friend of mine said that, she said, as much as I know that there is so much that you are doing, but there is even more, Andrea. There is even more. And I said, my friend, you are my destiny releaser. Sometimes, even if you are a coach, you need someone to coach you too. You need someone to remind you of who you are. You can be a preacher, you can be a pastor, you can even be a parent. I learned so much from my son. He's only 3 years old, but every time when he does something, I look at him and I rediscover myself through him. For instance, this morning, he took a tin of Milo and he opened it and it was quiet in the house. I was wondering, where is my son? And when I found him, there he was busy eating. Oh, he was having the best time of his life. And the motherly instinct said to reprimand him. But then again, the coach in me said, no, stand back, observe. This is an innocent soul who does not operate from a place of scarcity. This is an innocent soul who is here to remind you to trust, to maximize your potential. Maximizing your potential is my next point. It talks to you understanding that when you have discovered yourself or rediscovered your power and your purpose, now you have to stand. If you've ever seen athletes, when they're on the blocks, they move their bodies, they shake themselves, they prepare themselves so that they can then sprint off. And while they are waiting there, they are thinking, this is me, this is where I am, but that is where I want to go. These are my opponents, but right now they do not matter. This is my race and I have to run it. And I have to run it and win it. And if I do not win it, it does not mean that I have failed, but it means that I must do more. There is something that I need to add on to what I have. And in that moment, when an athlete is ready, sitting there, waiting for that countdown and for that gun to go off, at that time, they're working themselves up. They're working their energy. That is when they're maximizing their potential. They're psyching themselves up, saying, I can do it. I can do it. I'm going to be like the little train who said, I can do it. In that moment, the adrenaline is building. That choo-choo-choo of that train is that adrenaline building. It's them, that vision, driving them to see where they already have to be. They might be on the starting blocks, but already they must see themselves at the finishing line. And when they do that, then when that gun goes off, my 5th point comes in. They release. They release that talent. They release that energy. They release that speed, that potential. And by doing that, they know then that I can see it. I can do it. Yes, it is mine. I am a winner. And by doing that, then they have ensured that they become hope for someone who is a spectator. Remember, when you run your race, you're not only running it for yourself. There is someone out there who says, how did you do it? When self-doubt came in, how did you do it? When imposter, thoughts and mentality came in, how did you move yourself from there? When you fell, how did you lift yourself up? You fell so many times, but you did not stay down. You got up. Why? Because you understood that you have to be a branch of hope. When you don't show up and show off and shine, there is someone's destiny that you are holding back. So it is important for you to understand that you are not living your life for yourself. There is someone out there who is rooting and counting on you making it. My friend is rooting for me. She is counting on me, opening bigger doors. It's not enough for me to be talking to 2,000 people. To 5,000. She says, my friend, when we were talking last week, you said your dream is to speak to 70,000 people, to 1.5 million people. Please, you are delaying me because I am right behind you and I need you to unlock that door. When you unlock that door, I will be able to go in. But for as long as you are standing at the precipice of doubt, you are standing at the precipice of unknowing of your power, you are delaying me. Be a destiny releaser. Be a branch of hope for someone else. There's different ways of pruning branches. Self-development is part of that. Going to seminars, reading books, listening to people speaking, getting coaches, all those things. You must be that person who has a discerning taste for knowledge. Do not just absorb knowledge for the sake of absorbing it, but let it nurture you. Let it take you to that place where you need to get to. And with those words, I want you to fearlessly remember that in order for you to be that branch that bears fruit, you have to prune. Sometimes you're going to have to prune friends. Sometimes you're going to have to prune certain mentalities, certain ideas for you to be able to go and become that person that you are supposed to be. But up until you open yourself up to the possibilities and say, who am I? Which branch am I? From which tree, from which type of tree am I carved from? Or am I growing on? What seed planted me? What soil nurtured me? Up until you do that, you will never understand your potential. You will never fulfill your purpose and embrace your power. You will never go on that vision quest and rediscover who you are. And you will deny yourself the opportunity and the potential to maximize that power. And when all of these are aligned, the universe will align everything for you and release you to your greatness and release you to your truth and release you to everything that is good and that is destined for you. That is my message to you.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, thank you so much for that message. I believe this is the type of message that we needed to start off the week. You know, I really believe it just set the tone for the rest of our week. It was a beautiful message. It was such a fulfilling message. And I'm pretty sure everyone watching at this moment agrees with me. When you kept on talking and sharing your message, a hymn came to my mind. It's a Sotho hymn that we sing a lot in this Methodist church of ours that says, Lififing le letu letu. There's a part that says, Le khanye le emeqhoeng, le bonisetse tsela, mme e mong ya lahlehileng a ka bona a phela. For those who don't understand Sesotho, it says, be bright and stand on the highest tip of the mountain. And perhaps one that is lost might see that light, follow you, and find themselves healing and living again. I thank you very much for that message. We really appreciate it. just coming into the questions of things and the interactive part of the session, I have a question for you here. Part of your very great biography and the very long list of achievements that you have, you are an actress, you're a motivational speaker, you are a life coach. So you have quite a lot of branches out of your tree. How do you do it? What has been your biggest push? What has been your biggest motivation to say, listen, I'm a tree, but I'm not going to limit myself to having one branch. I actually want to have a lot of branches. What kept you going?
Humbleness. Humbleness and knowing yourself and understanding who you are. Your values have to guide you. They have to become your anchor. For as long as you are not anchored in strong values, if you do not have a congruence between your ideas and ideals, you will be lost. You know, we've seen so many people and had so many people, you know, being influenced by friends. And in those moments, you have then to know who you are. And if you are, you are grounded and anchored in your truth, and knowing that this is me, this speaks to me, that does not speak to me, that is very important for you to understand. As I said, I am a mother, and I warned you that he might pop in, and he's like a clockwork. 30 minutes passes, he's like, Mommy, they must know I'm here. So that is my purpose, being a mother.
Yeah, no, he is already part of our show because we've already heard the Milo story. So he makes a very important part of the session. And just jumping into you being a mother, I liked what you said. Many of us are young mothers. Some of we've got our mothers as well, who are still around. And there's a point that you raised about learning from our little ones. For some parents who perhaps find it hard or have never even considered going the route of learning from their little ones, how would you advise them to do it? What would you say the starting point of learning from your young one should be?
For me, when I had my son, I learned so much about the journey. It taught me to step back and be quiet and reflect. And also the journey of motherhood on its own, the incubation period. For me, I looked at it as if I was being offered an opportunity or afforded an opportunity to nurture myself through my son. So I had to unlearn some things and allow him to be his own person. Because so many times as parents, we impose our own ideas. Of course, there must be rules. You know, you have your own principles, you have your own ideas. But don't forget that this being that comes before they were even created, you know, and destined for your womb, the divine creator knew who they are. And that is why when a child is born, they are born with their hands closed because they are coming with talents. And it is important for you to let go of your own ideals at times and just step back and ask yourself, what is this moment, or what is this child that I've been gifted with? What opportunity of growth are they offering me? And in those moments, you will see yourself better in them and you will learn more, because the universe at that moment, it means that you are living, you know, you are present. I call those moments the moments when you are present. So in that moment, you are present enough to hear the divine speak to you.
Beautiful. And I guess it's true when they say, especially as parents, when you think of giving up, it's very important to remember who's watching you, because these little ones also learn a lot from us, and they are biggest cheerleader. Just another question is, as a human being, more than anything, we're not always on top of our game, and we don't always feel hundreds. we do have times where we feel like the world is on top of us and we feel like things are just going haywire. What gets you out of bed on days when you feel like, I don't want to face the world and I can't do this anymore? What is your pushing factor?
For me, it's remembering that I have to show up for someone. It's those moments when you have to transfer the energy to understand that it's not only about you. There is someone else who might be needing you more. And in those moments, you have to dig deeper to find that thing that is going to push you, that is going to make you get up and get going. So when you do that, it's then that you listen even better, and your power then allows you to grow even more.
Wow, beautiful. Before I move on to my next question, I would like to remind everyone that is watching this that they can ask their questions as well. They can have their comment section, because now everyone is singing your praises. So people are not asking questions, they're singing your praises. They're just so happy with what they see. So if anyone has a question anywhere, they can just pop it down on the comment section and we will read your question. Just another, oh, so someone just said your smile is out of this world. It is bright. So just another question, who would you say is your source of hope? Because many of us find and look for sources of hope, and we look for people to push us, or we draw inspiration or strength from certain people. Who for you would you say is that person?
My mother. My mother has overcome so much, and I believe she transferred her resilience to us as her children. And as a result, she has allowed me to be able to embrace all these different spheres of my life, the different branches, and nurture them. And of course, then the higher power, which is the divine creator. Nana, stop it. Which is the divine creator. The divine creator, you cannot do anything without understanding that there is a higher power, and that higher power is the one that will intercede for you even in moments where you feel that you feel that you cannot do it, you know? Yeah.
Shame Unana wants to be part of our session. Maybe he must just come and greet us. He'll get a bit of joy from that. I really don't have any questions from my side for now. Is there anything pressing that you would like to share with us? You know, if there was something you would like, what's your key advice for someone, no matter what it is that they're going through or they want to know? What do you always remind people?
Currently, I'm busy with my book that is called Growth is Inevitable. And that for me is an overarching message, because some people say that growth is a choice, but I say growth is inevitable. So for someone who's going through something, I want to say that whatever it is that you're going through, it's okay. It's just a season. It will come and it will pass. Just find yourself. Don't be swept away by the storms and the torrents that are coming with the season, but remember who you are and do not lose yourself.
And I guess that's very important, especially in this world that we live in now. It's so easy to get lost in, you know, the lights and everything of the world, so much so that we end up losing ourselves. So it's very, very important that we stay true to ourselves. What would you say was your biggest test in your journey, and what kept you going? How did you push till you overcame it?
My biggest challenge, whoa. It's so hard for me now to talk about it, you know. It's actually to even recall it. I suppose the imposter syndrome is what it is. The reason why it's so difficult for me to actually even talk about it or to even remember it, because I believe that whatever you talk about, you give power to it. So you have to be very cognizant of the power that you give to anything that is aligned to your life. Nana, wait. So for me, it was just the awareness. I got through that by being aware that this is what I'm going through. It will pass. I am Andrea Dondolo. I am the one who was gifted with a big name that said one with a lot of branches. That is why I'm able to maneuver through all these different spheres, because I know that I have to fulfill my destiny. So that is it for me, Nana.
Yes, Queen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's really nothing from my side. I don't even want to ruin everything that has been said here today. I just feel like this session was a neat. It has set the bar to how my week and everyone else that's watching is going to be. Like, if there's anything I took away from this is forgive yourself, acknowledge your mistakes, and don't have any regrets. And I really think there's a lot of us that needed to hear this. And for that, I am very, very thankful for this. It's been a great session. If there are any closing remarks before we hand over back to Umfundisi, you can go ahead.
My son just reminded us of something very important right now. Play. Have fun. He just reminded us of that. And as I said, continue learning, continue growing. This is whatever season you are in, whether it's a great season or a challenging season, take it easy, be like a child. Take your space and say, I'm here, and show up and be grateful.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Wow. I love that. Lebo on Facebook says your journey is amazing. I personally learned a lot today.
Thank you.
Shoot, what a beautiful session. I will hand over to Umfundisi and we will take it from there. For everyone that's been watching, thank you for joining us. It has been a wonderful session. I'm sure everyone can agree. And just watch and share this beautiful message. Mfundisi, I will now hand over back to you.
Thank you very much, Palisa, and thank you very much to our guest, Andrea, for such a motivation. Siziva nje sisemandleni sonke, and thank you to the young one. Uyenze yamnandi the show. It's good to see young ones as part of our shows. We really appreciate. Indeed, someone must show up. There are so many things in life that can pull you down, and so much negativity. I'm just trying to think, how do you deal with negativity, especially in this industry, Okuyo, acting, and how do you overcome such challenges in life?
You have to know yourself so that you can filter whatever comes your way. Because for as long as you do not know who you are, you will forever be swayed. But if you stick to your guns and you know that I do not do this, this is not aligned to my values, this is not aligned to my purpose, I promise you, you will thrive. The industry itself, as we all know, it's such a controversial industry. It's narcissistic as well, but just know that you are there to serve your purpose and do so fearfully. Do not ask for permission, take your space and take your place.
Wow. I think that sums it all. Take your place and occupy it. If it is yours, it will come to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the viewers at home. We will definitely see each other tomorrow at 6 o'clock for our tomorrow session. May God bless you all at homes. Umakhaya kwindaweni ehleli kuzo niyazi into yoba ngaphezu kwezinto zonke utshilo apho umntu kaDondolo wathi uThixo enye yezinto ezimenza into yoba athi xa evuka ekuseni abe namandla okoyisa zonke izinto. sengathi ke lo Thixo angasigcina asilondoloze lasithandaze. Sinikela kuwe somandla lonke udumo, amandla nobukhosi nobungcwalisa. Sibulela Nkosi ukuba nguThixo wethu. Sibulela Nkosi ukukhuthazwa ngale mini kwixesha Nkosi elinzima, ixesha Nkosi le-COVID-19. Abantu Nkosi bebuncama izinto zabo, amathemba Nkosi eshabalala imihla ngemihla. Kodwa siyomelezeka ukuva Nkosi ukuba singawo lo masebe anako Nkosi ukuvelisa isiqhamo. Athi Nkosi xa engathwali isiqhamo uwanqamle wena ukuze athwale ngakumbi. Sikelela ke Nkosi umntwana wakho uthethe ngaye namhlanje. Sisikelele Nkosi kumakhaya ngamakhaya sikuwo, usingcwalise Nkosi, sibe nobuthongo obumnandi, sibe namandla kusasa. Ingilona lowo Nkosi akhangela indawo angema kuyo, athi Nkosi akuma kuyo azive Nkosi enamandla amatsha. Ekugqibeleni imali yethu nofefele Nkosi yethu nguYesu Kristu, nothando lukaThixo nguyise, nobudlelwane bukaMoya Oyingcwele mabuhlale kuthi sonke nasemakhayeni ethu kusukela ngoku kude bekunaphakade. Amen.
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 Nkosi kakhulu emakhaya, nibe nobusuku and good night.